"We're careful," she whispered on the office cam. "But not careful enough." I'm about to explain how a CEO affair scandal crashed into my life and my job. And I'm 28, an IT specialist in a Seattle startup. I babysit servers, patch firewalls, and drink burnt office coffee. My dream was simple: build clean systems, marry my fiancé, stop renting apartments with thin walls. I thought my boss was a mentor. People called her a visionary, and I wanted to learn. That was my first mistake. And that's when I realized I'd ignored every red flag. NNTHE first red flag was small. She praised me on Slack at noon and DM'd me at midnight, then laughed in meetings. "You're too sensitive, it's just feedback." The server room became my refuge. Cold air on my wrists, the hum of fans, that plastic and dust smell that clings to a hoodie. Blinking LEDs felt honest in a way people didn't. It only got worse from there. 3 weeks ago, we upgraded security. New cameras, new storage, cleaner logs. I was proud of that push. I named the node after my dog. During calibration, I spotted odd timestamps. Late-night motion in a conference room no one booked. I told myself it was the cleaning crew. I told myself a lot of things. That was the moment I knew I had to verify, not guess. NNTHE clip, loaded with the red rec dot in the corner, the kind that makes your stomach drop. The room was dim, blue spill from the hallway exit sign. I heard a whisper I knew too well. "We're careful." Then a reply I knew better. "My fiancé." My chest went hollow. I paused, rewound, checked the camera ID. The metadata matched the night he, quote, late and forgot to text back. Digital proof doesn't care about feelings. And that's when my hands started shaking. I closed the window. I stared at my keycard on the desk like a small passport back to denial. Seattle rain rattled the vent. The screen light made my fingers look ghostly. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe they were coordinating a surprise for me. That sounds ridiculous now, but denial loves a technicality. It only took one ping to end the fantasy.nagNNO subject line. Burner address. One sentence. Check 03_17_cam3.mp4 and the thread referral in her inbox. Attached was a zip of exported emails between my boss and my fiancé going back to my interview. They called me loyal talent and, quote, an asset who won't make waves. She wrote, without me, she'd still be fixing printers. He replied, it's for her own good, she'll thank us later. I tasted metal in my mouth. Workplace betrayal story wasn't a genre anymore. It was my life. That was the moment I knew. I didn't print anything. I didn't yank a USB. I know chain of custody and compliance. I documented access logs, flagged the zip under audit, and locked the door behind me. Walking past glass conference rooms, I noticed how the plants look healthier than the people. In the elevator mirror, gray hoodie, badge lanyard, migraine eyes. Slack pinged. Quick sync? Need your magic. I let the doors close and breathed lobby air. My hands were steady now. And that's when I decided to move carefully, not loudly. At home, the apartment felt staged, too quiet. He was out, networking. I set my keys on the table and listened to the fridge click on and off. I typed one sentence in notes. Boss romance is not mentorship. Silly, but it kept me from crying. I brewed tea, watched the steam fog the window, and scheduled time with HR for morning. I also texted a colleague in security I trust. Are you awake? He was. I said, I found something. He replied, come early, bring nothing. It only gets louder from here. I showed up early, before sunrise, when the office was empty and the lights felt colder than usual. My security friend met me by the badge reader, no small talk, just a nod. We took the back stairs to the server room. The fan noise filled the silence. I set my keycard on the rack shelf so I wouldn't fidget and told him the essentials. And that's when I realized I was done minimizing. .nnhe, asked for the burner email, the file name, the timestamps. I handed him a short timeline and kept my hands in my hoodie pocket. He opened the clip with a red REC dot and didn't look at me. This is clean, he said. Chain of custody is intact. He checked the audit trail, mirrored the evidence to a sealed share, and set alerts in case anyone tried to delete logs. It only got more real from there. At 9, I went to HR with a calm face I borrowed from other people. I used plain words. Inappropriate relationship. conflict of interest, retaliation risk. I said CEO affair scandal once because it's the phrase that landed. The HR lead nodded and said, "Please don't speculate. We'll conduct an HR investigation." Then the kicker. You understand you can't share any of this externally. And that's when I realized the NDA is a muzzle. N and I asked for interim protection, role clarity, access limits for the CEO to the security cams, a directive that I report to the CTO until this is handled. HR smiled like a screensaver. We'll take it under advisement. Another line. Don't take this personally. It's for your own good. The fluorescent light buzzed. The room smelled like citrus wipes. No one will believe you if you go public, she added, softer. It only added fuel. At 10, we had the all hands. Investors on Zoom, team in the open area, projector humming. My boss did her usual runway walk and called me our loyal IT girl. People clapped. I felt my face go hot. My fiancé stood near the back, pretending to be proud. I could smell his cologne, that department store scent that makes my stomach flip now. That was the moment I knew I couldn't swallow it anymore. NNTHE demo froze. She laughed and said, "See? This is why we keep her around." Heads turned toward me. I fixed it in 2 keystrokes, but my hands stayed on the keyboard a beat too long. She whispered near the mic, "You're too sensitive." The line picked up on the speakers and a few people snickered. Workplace betrayal story, live on stage. And that's when I realized humiliation is part of their playbook. After the meeting, my fiancé grabbed my elbow by the kitchen island like we were a normal couple. The espresso machine hissed. He said, "Let's not make a scene." I pulled my arm back. "How long?" I asked. He went pale, then tried the soft voice. "It's complicated. It's for your own good." My laugh sounded wrong in my own ears. It only got uglier from there. And I told him I had digital proof, and I'd already filed with HR. He switched scripts so fast it clicked. "You're making a mistake," he said. "She believes in you. Without her, you're nobody here." I stared at the office key rack like it could answer for him. "Say that again," I said. He didn't. That was the moment I chose distance over explanations. An NBY lunch. Rumors had started. Slack pings multiplied. The CEO posted in hashtag announcements about respectful workplace and avoiding gossip, which is corporate for shut up. I ate a protein bar that tasted like cardboard and walked a loop in the drizzle. Seattle smelled like coffee and bus breaks. I texted my security friend, "They're moving." He replied, "Then move faster." And that's when I decided the next step would be public. That night, I couldn't sleep. My apartment felt like a muted recording, buzz from the fridge, the hum of traffic under the window. I kept replaying her voice from the clip. We're careful. NEXCEPT, they weren't. Not with timestamps. Not with me. And that's when I realized I had more power than I thought. I opened my laptop, dimmed the screen, and created a sandboxed folder named audit_review. Inside, I placed the recovered files my security friend mirrored, emails, call logs, and the video. One copy went to my cloud vault under a legal timestamp. Another, hidden in plain sight inside the HR shared drive, labeled Holiday Party 2022. It only got sharper from there. And at 2:07 a.m., I got a message from an unknown number. "Delete the video. Please, we'll fix this." NTHE punctuation, her style. No emojis, no warmth. And 5 minutes later, a call from him. "Don't ruin everything, okay? We can make this right." NTHAT was the moment I knew they were scared. NNBY morning. The narrative had shifted. Slack chatter was stiff. People avoided eye contact like it was contagious. HR called me in for a clarification. Their version of damage control. They said they'd reviewed some of my claims, but needed me to surrender the footage to maintain confidentiality. I almost laughed. "I work in security," I said. "You think I don't know how backups work?" And it went quiet. Then one of them muttered, "This can end quietly if you cooperate." And that's when I realized, quiet is how they win. And at noon, I met my colleague, my only real ally, in the cafe across the street. Rain tapped the window like static. He looked exhausted but focused. "If you drop this," he said, "they'll bury you." HR works for her. And I already knew, but hearing it said out loud made it heavier. NWE drafted a simple plan, a controlled leak. Not chaos, not revenge, just truth. The file would go public only if they tried to discredit me. A dead man's switch, he called it, except I was very much alive. And back at the office, the CEO's assistant left a small envelope on my desk. No name, no note, just a company keycard inside, my old one. The one they deactivated when I raised the complaint. It was like a taunt. You still belong to us. I kept it in my pocket. A symbol, a reminder. And that was the moment I knew this wasn't just personal. It was systemic. At 3 p.m., HR summoned the entire department to address misinformation. She stood there in her white blazer, composed, haloed by ring light brightness from the projector. "Certain staff have circulated false materials," she said, voice smooth as code syntax. "We value loyalty." Then she smiled directly at me. "If anyone feels misunderstood, my door is open." NTHE silence in the room was a living thing. I could hear the hum of the projector and the click of my pen. NTHAT was the moment I knew she'd just declared war. After the meeting, she cornered me near the kitchen. "You've made a mess," she said, too close. "Think carefully before you destroy your career." NHER perfume was sharp, like citrus and metal. And I said, "You already did that for me." Then walked away before she could reply. It only got quieter and colder from there. NNTHAT night, I got another message, this time from my fiancé. "You're overreacting. You'll regret this." NMY thumbs hovered over the screen. I typed one line. "Without her, I still have integrity. Without me, you have nothing." Then I blocked his number. And that was the moment I stopped shaking. The next morning, I woke up to chaos. My inbox had exploded. Slack pings, HR flags, even a message from the CTO. "We need to talk. Urgently." It turns out someone had leaked the footage. Not me, not my ally, someone else inside the company. Maybe they'd seen enough hypocrisy to snap. Or maybe the system just cracked under its own weight. Either way, the damage was done. And that was the moment I realized the truth doesn't need permission to surface. NNBY 9 a.m. The clip was everywhere. A thread on Twitter titled, "Startup CEO Caught on Office Camera, Seattle Drama You Won't Believe." The video didn't show everything, just enough. The whisper, the touch, the timestamp. The audio was clear. We're careful. And it only got louder from there. NNTHE CEO went into crisis mode. Emergency meeting. Legal team on standby. HR scrubbed every platform, but the internet moves faster than NDAs. The investor scheduled a call to, quote, "reassess leadership integrity." She looked like she hadn't slept. Her voice cracked once mid-sentence. And that's when I knew she was finally feeling what she'd made me feel. Cornered and powerless, NNTHE office was silent, except for phones buzzing like angry bees. People avoided her eyes. My fiancé, or I guess ex, didn't even show up. His LinkedIn changed to open to work by noon. I'd like to say I felt joy, but honestly, it was more like static. Relief with a hint of disbelief. A colleague whispered, "Did you do it?" I shook my head. No need. They did it to themselves. Still, the paranoia kicked in. HR called me again, this time more desperate. "You're not under investigation," they said, "but we need your cooperation to restore the company's image." The irony almost made me laugh out loud. And I replied, "Restore the image? Start by restoring ethics." They didn't like that. That was the moment I realized I'd crossed the line from employee to liability. And around lunchtime, she, my boss, stormed into the server room. The same room where it all started. The hum of the machines made her voice sharper. "You think this makes you a hero?" she said. "You've destroyed months of work." And I looked at the blinking LEDs and said quietly, "Funny. That's exactly what you said to him." NSHE froze. For once, she didn't have a script. Her eyes darted toward the cameras. Yes, they were recording. NTHAT was the moment I knew she understood. She was on the other side now. NNBY 2 p.m. She resigned for personal reasons. The internal memo went out, corporate sanitized and emotionless. My ex-fiancé sent one final text before disappearing completely. You got what you wanted. Hope it was worth it. And I didn't reply. The air in the server room felt clean for the first time in weeks. People started treating me differently. Some with respect, some with fear. A few whispered thank yous in passing. One engineer left a sticky note on my monitor. For what it's worth, that took guts. And kept it. Still have it, actually. A small square of validation in a sea of NDAs, NNTHAT night. I walked home through light Seattle rain, earbuds off, just listening to the city. The neon reflected on wet asphalt, buses hissed at red lights, and for the first time, I didn't feel like I was the ghost in someone else's story. And that's when I realized something simple but terrifying. Truth doesn't save you. It frees you, and freedom isn't comfortable. And back home, I poured myself cold coffee from the morning and opened my laptop. The folder marked audit_review blinked back at me. I renamed it Closure. And it only got quieter after that. 2 weeks later, the startup was still in cleanup mode. The CEO's LinkedIn had gone dark, our investors suspended funding, and HR sent out healing initiative emails that read like hostage notes. I was technically still employed, but no one gave me tasks. No meetings, no check-ins, just silence. And that's when I realized, sometimes exile feels like peace. I spent my days in the server room again, but now it felt different. Same hum, same cold air, but the tension was gone. My fingers brushed the old keycard I kept on the desk. I didn't know why I hadn't thrown it out. Maybe it reminded me that I survived the system that tried to erase me. It only got clearer from there. NNMY security friend stopped by one morning with 2 coffees. They're cutting her severance to 0, he said. Legal found evidence she used company funds for off-site mentoring sessions. We both laughed, the kind of bitter laugh that carries months of disbelief. NHE hesitated, then added, they want to offer you a new role. Privacy compliance lead. I stared at the steam rising from the cup. So they want to turn the scandal into a job title? NHE shrugged. They're trying to make it right, I guess. And that was the moment I knew I didn't want to fix their mess. I wanted out, NNTHAT afternoon. I typed my resignation letter in 3 sentences. I'm grateful for the experience. I'm no longer aligned with the company's values. Effective immediately. Short, clean, like wiping a hard drive. HR called within 5 minutes. You're walking away from an opportunity to rebuild, they said. No, I replied. I'm walking towards something that doesn't smell like burnt ethics. Click. End of call. N and I spent the next month freelancing, small security audits, a few startups that actually respected boundaries. People online called it the Seattle Boss Affair leak. My DMs flooded with strangers saying, I wish I had your courage. Courage, right? Most days it felt less like bravery and more like survival. NTHAT was the moment I realized. Silence protects abusers, not careers. And I eventually opened my own micro-agency. Just me, a friend, and a room full of blinking routers. I named it Server Room Ethics. We specialized in digital transparency audits. No fancy office, just honesty and Wi-Fi. Every time I heard the hum of the servers, it reminded me of that night. The whisper, the lie, the proof. It still gives me chills, but it also keeps me grounded. It only got lighter from there. Months later, an email popped up with the subject line, coffee? It was from my ex. 3 words. I'm sorry. Finally understand. And I didn't open it. I just archived it. Forgiveness isn't always a conversation. Sometimes it's just closing the tab. Seattle's spring arrived quietly. Gray skies, wet sidewalks, espresso and damp air. I walked past our old office once. New tenants had taken over, new logo on the glass. For a moment, I imagined the cameras still humming inside, indifferent witnesses to every secret they'd ever seen. And that was the moment I knew closure isn't silence. It's the absence of fear. I tell this story not for pity, but as a kind of digital timestamp. A reminder that truth leaves a trail. You can delete files, but not patterns. You can rewrite emails, but not intent. The cloud remembers everything. So do I. Sometimes I still hear her voice when I check system logs. We're careful. Maybe she was, but not careful enough to realize I was watching too. Would you have stayed quiet to save your career? Or would you have hit play?